Look at this happy baby. Oh, yeah. Miss Bernie, you're so pretty. But that aside, I've always been very, very interested in the way time is shaped by literature, how books handle the passage of time, how they inhabit the passage of time, what they're doing with time. And I can prove this because I have a senior thesis that I wrote back in college that is all about the way books interact with time. But I'm still a little bit obsessed with it because I'm currently writing and I was starting a new chapter. And as often happens when I'm starting a new chapter, I'm setting it in time with the first sentence by saying, a week later, this happens. And I do a lot of those phrases when drafting and cut almost all of them when editing because there's something that just feels inherently childish and amateurish to me about them. And I think, I'm not entirely sure, but I think part of the reason is because these phrases do tend to pop up slightly more in books aimed at children. And that's not to say that books aimed at children are inherently childish, amateurish. They're not. But it is less logical to expect a 10-year-old to just magically be able to intuit that 2 months have passed than an adult reader. An adult reader is going to be able to tell your next chapter is sometimes, a year later. Whereas kids' books, no. Often, most kids' books take place pretty tight timelines, like the one I just read, The Dollhouse Murders. I remember this book taking place across months, but when I sat down to read it, yeah, it takes place across a week. A week. And I do think kids' books have a very interesting relationship with time, is simply because of the way we read them as kids. It always takes longer, and our imaginations are so full that we just sort of experience them in a different way. And also, kids just inherently experience time in a different way. But all that is besides the point. The important thing is, I think that it's because these lines, the a week passed or next week we did this, appear more commonly in kids' books. I feel like that's why they feel inherently sort of amateurish in adults' books. But it is one of those hilarious things. I almost never notice them when someone else is writing. But when it's my writing, yeah, I notice them. And I find ways to cut them.